I have decided that abaya could no longer be worn in schools. These are the words of French Education Minister Gabriel Attal. And these words come just months after when France was divided on the Burkins debate. क्या है ये अबाया और बुर्किन्स डिबेट और इनका सेक्युलरिज्म के लार्जर आइडिया से क्या लेना देना है? Hello and welcome to Platonic. Today we are here with our current affairs series on another hot burning topic. So France has banned girls from wearing abayas in state schools. Let us see what the issue is. So fresh political debate has sparked in France and related to its secular rules, whether they discriminate against the country's Muslim minority. How do we say this? In 2004, France came with a law that banned wearing of religious symbols in schools. In 2010, yet again, France came with a law that banned any covering of the face in public places, and it has been seen that these laws are being framed to target the minority or to discriminate against the minorities there. Last year, France's highest administrative court upheld a ban on the full body covering swimsuit, which is known as burkini, the debate that we were talking about here. Now, what does this all signify? This signifies the issue of secularism. So, in this video, though the current affair, the issue is related to France, but we will look at the larger issue that is related to different models of secularism. What is the benefit of this current affairs lecture? One, the current event, whatever the issue is going on will be covered. Second, you will be able to write mains answers because we will be discussing the issue in such depth. Third, it will be linked to your static. So just by watching these videos, you will be well prepared with your current affairs. Let us begin. So why does France not allow religious clothing? What is the issue? Actually, France is built on strict separation on religion and state, where state is not allowed to interfere in religious matters and religion is not allowed to impact the state. There is strict separation. How is it different from other countries? When we look at the US model, there is an arm's distance between the state and the religion. France mein there is total separation, whereas the Indian model is having porous separation, porous wall of separation between state and religion, which is also known as principled distance model. क्या है ये model? क्या इसके principles हैं? आइए देखते हैं. What are the differences between the concept of secularism, which is followed in India, and secularism that is followed in France? देखिए, रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन स्टेट एंड रिलीजन. तो फ्रांस का जो सेक्युलरिज्म है वो एकदम कंपार्टमेंट्स अलग कर देता है. रिलीजन बिल्कुल अलग चीज है, स्टेट बिल्कुल अलग चीज है. इंडिया के केस में प्रिंसिपल्ड डिस्टेंस अप्रोच है. स्टेट एक प्रिंसिपल्ड डिस्टेंस रखता है रिलीजन से, बट दैट डजंट मीन दैट स्टेट एंड रिलीजन आर कंप्लीटली सेपरेट और कंप्लीटली कंपार्टमेंटलाइज्ड. ऐसा नहीं है इंडिया के केस में. यहाँ पर स्टेट इज अलाउड, वो जब भी चाहे रिलीजन के सेक्युलर एस्पेक्ट्स में इंटरफेयर कर सकते हैं और ऐसे भी रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिसेस में इंटरफेयर कर सकते हैं जो स्टेट को लगता है कि ये तो डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी हैं. इंडिया के केस में हम ज़्यादातर देखते हैं जब भी स्टेट को ऐसा लगा कि विमेन आर बीइंग डिस्क्रिमिनेटेड अगेंस्ट बाय सम रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिस, स्टेट हैज़ इंटरवीन्ड. चाहे वो सबरीमाला जजमेंट की बात हो वेयर विमेन हैव बीन अलाउड एंट्री इनसाइड द टेम्पल्स, चाहे वो शाहबानो का केस हो, ठीक है, चाहे वो ट्रिपल तलाक का केस हो, wherever the state felt that women are being discriminated against, the judiciary or the state intervened. Next, freedom of expression. So France में when we look at the ideals on which French country is based, those are liberty, equality and fraternity, right? So there is immense respect for liberty, and liberty means freedom of speech and expression to such extent that the primacy is given to freedom of expression over religious sentiments. इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं है. हमारे यहाँ देर आर रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑन फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, ताकि जो रिलीजन्स हैं उनकी सैंक्टिटी बनी रहे, रिलीजन्स की रिस्पेक्ट मेंटेन रहे, कोई भी दो लोग एक दूसरे के रिलीजियस सेंटिमेंट्स को हर्ट ना करें, इस चीज का ध्यान रखा गया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में। सो रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस प्रिवेल इन केस ऑफ इंडिया। आगे बढ़ते हैं। राइट टू रिलीजन। फ्रांस में सेक्युलरिज्म डज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज वंस राइट टू प्रोफेस रिलीजन। इंडिया में ये राइट्स अवेलेबल हैं। राइट है आपको अपना रिलीजन प्रोफेस करने का, उसे प्रोपगेट करने का, प्रैक्टिस करने का, ये सब फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं। कौन से आर्टिकल्स में मेंशन्ड है आप लिखिए कमेंट सेक्शन में। रिलीजन इन पब्लिक स्फीयर। रिलीजन स्ट्रिक्टली प्राइवेट मैटर है और any religious expression in public sphere is banned in France. They do not want anybody showing any expression of their religious beliefs in the public sphere. India में ऐसा नहीं है. We understand the importance of individual rights. We also understand the importance of community rights. So somebody wearing any religious symbol and coming out in public sphere is not a concern for India. माइनॉरिटी राइट्स एंड आइडेंटिटी। फ्रेंच में कल्चरल एसिमिलेशन पर जोर है, जिसका ये मतलब है कि एवरीबडी शुड कन्फर्म टू द सेम आइडियल्स, राइट। सो वेन एवर एवरीबडी इज इन पब्लिक स्फीयर दे शुड नॉट टॉक एनीथिंग और दे शुड नॉट बी लुकिंग लाइक बिलोंगिंग टू डिफरेंट रिलीजन्स। इंडियन सेक्युलरिज्म किस चीज पर आधारित है? प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ माइनॉरिटी राइट्स, वेयर माइनॉरिटीज आर अलाउड टू एक्सप्रेस their religious sentiments, where minorities are allowed to celebrate, practice, propagate their religious beliefs, and they also preserve their cultural identity. फिर एक बात होती है पॉजिटिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की। इंडियन मॉडल ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म है वो माइनॉरिटीज को कुछ एक्स्ट्रा राइट्स जरूर देता है, क्योंकि हम क्या करें, पॉजिटिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन करें। द सेगमेंट ऑफ द सोसाइटी विच इज लेफ्ट बिहाइंड और विच वी फील इज बिट मार्जिनलाइज्ड, उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए देयर इज पॉजिटिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन अवेलेबल इन इंडियन सिस्टम ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म। Indian constitution has put in place various provisions which discriminate positively. जैसे आपको आर्टिकल 29 और 30 मिलेंगे which allow minorities to practice their religious beliefs and also establish institutions. Now let us look at the constitutional provisions, क्योंकि जब मेंस में सवाल आएगा सेक्युलरिज्म के ऊपर तो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप सेक्युलरिज्म की डेफिनेशन दें। आप बताएं कि what do you mean by secularism? You say that this is a modern idea. Where do we find it in India? We find it mentioned in the preamble. Was it already there in the preamble? No, it was added through an amendment. And then you list various articles where the spirit of secularism is present in Indian constitution. Beginning with Article 14, it talks about equality before law. And it also talks about equal protection of laws to all, which means everybody is equal before law. Your religious affiliation does not make any difference to the judiciary, does not make any difference to the state. Article 16, Clause 1, it guarantees equality of opportunity to all citizens in matters of public appointment and says that there will be no discrimination on the basis of religion. This is what we want to point out. No discrimination against anyone in matters of public employment, which means that when it comes to getting government jobs, you will not be discriminated against based on your religion, which is a very ideal thing. Now, Article 25, it provides freedom of conscience. That means all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice and propagate their religion, right? Next, Article 26, every religious group is having the right to establish some institutions. So not only they can practice, what does this mean? This means that they can practice their religions in private also, and even in public they can establish institutions to propagate their religion and for charitable purposes, and they can also manage their own affairs in matters of religion. What does Article 27 say? It says that the state shall not compel any citizen to pay any taxes for the promotion of any particular religion, which shows that state will not be a theocratic state. State will not have any religion of its own. State will never use the tax paid by people for the promotion of any particular religion. Neither the state will ever force anyone or compel anyone to pay taxes for the promotion of a particular religion. Article 28, it allows educational institutions which are maintained by different religious groups to impart religious instruction. This shows that even in public sphere we are allowing people to practice, propagate, profess their religion. Any group of people can establish an institution, like we have madrasas, which are religious institutions, right, and where children of a particular community are educated. So religious groups have this freedom in India. Moving to Article 29 and 30, they provide cultural and educational rights to minorities. 51A, fundamental duties, what does it say? It says it obliges all the citizens to promote harmony, and here we mean communal harmony, common brotherhood, and to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, which means that we have a culture that has diverse colors and we are supposed to respect the heritage, the rich heritage of that culture. Also to promote communal harmony, people should not fight with one another in the name of religion. 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is another important thing. Why? Because it added the word secular. India was always a secular nation even before this word was added in the preamble, right? But the adding of this word further enhanced our claim. So the word secular was inserted in the preamble. It stated secular means a republic in which there is equal respect for all religions. Now, the constitutional provisions, we have just looked how the constitution is supporting the secular credentials of India. Now we will see how judicial pronouncements time and again have strengthened the secular fabrics of the country. केशवानंद भारती जजमेंट, केशवानंद भारती वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ केरला 1973 का केस, और उसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि जो सेक्युलरिज्म है इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, जिसका ये अर्थ हुआ कि सेक्युलरिज्म एज एन आइडियल कैन नेवर बी टेकन अवे फ्रॉम द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बिकॉज इट फॉर्म्स द कोर ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इट फॉर्म्स द सोल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. एसआर बोमाई वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया का केस 1994 के जजमेंट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सेक्युलरिज्म के मीनिंग को इलैबोरेट किया और कहा कि इसका मतलब है सभी धर्मों का समान ट्रीटमेंट, इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट. Indian secularism is compatible with the idea of state-supported religious reforms, right? Which means that we allow the state to bring in religious reforms whenever needed. So, the Article 17, which bans untouchability. Untouchability is a was a religious practice, but it was against human dignity. It was against Article 21, the right to life. So, the constitution has banned untouchability, and government has enacted laws which abolish child marriage, which again is associated with religion. So these are social reforms that have been brought by the constitution in the fields of religion. Then the Sabrimala judgment, where women have been allowed entry inside the constitution, inside the temples, which means that even Supreme Court has said that constitutional morality cannot be sacrificed at the altar of social morality. Constitutional morality is important, and constitutional morality says Article 14, Article 14, equality it assures. Article 21, right to life. So women also have the equal right to enter temples. Sabrimala judgment. Triple Talaq judgment, which was against the basic human rights of a married women, of a married Muslim women. So this judgment also introduced reforms in religious matters. Also in Shirur Math case, there was this doctrine of essentiality introduced, which says that the judiciary will see whenever any case will come in front of judiciary, और उस केस में कुछ ऐसा मुद्दा होगा कि किसी रिलीजन की कोई प्रैक्टिस है और उससे किसी के राइट्स हार्म हो रहे हैं, तो इस चीज़ को कैसे जज किया जाएगा. तो जुडिशरी हैज सेड दैट वी विल यूज द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ एसेंशियलिटी, विच मीन्स वी विल सी वेदर दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रैक्टिस इज एसेंशियल फॉर दैट रिलीजन और नॉट, right? And if it is not essential, then reforms can be brought in that practice. So with this we have seen the secularism that is practiced in India, the principled distance model and the positive secularism. Then this entire idea of allowing minorities or different communities to live the way they want, to practice the practices they want to do, right? This is also present in the idea of multiculturalism. So in India, we allow multiculturalism. What is it? It is an amalgamation of different cultures. अलग-अलग race, nationality, language, religion, classes, gender, religious affiliation, ये सब लोग आते हैं and they form a culture together. That is multiculturalism, where every different color is allowed to remain as it is. It is not painted into something different. It is a view that people from different cultures have equal rights. Everybody can live equally. It is geared towards assuming a common political culture, which means political culture will be same. Everyone will be having the right to vote and no one will be discriminated against by the state due to somebody's religions or cultural practices. So it supports cultural coexistence. People of different cultures can practice their cultures easily. It is a philosophy of evidence, acceptance of different culture. It is toleration, right? And India is a land of diversity. India is a country that supports multiculturalism. With this, we have concluded this particular topic. So there was just one current affairs example or current affairs event, that France has banned girls from wearing a particular abaya, a particular dress in schools. And based on that, we have seen what is the difference between French model of secularism and the Indian model of secularism. Further, we have elaborated the Indian model of secularism in terms of what are the constitutional provisions, in terms of what are the judicial pronouncements. Then we have also seen an important idea of multiculturalism. So this was a wholesome lecture, wholesome current affairs series, and keep following this. Also, for limited time, we are giving you this opportunity to write answer to these questions, so and you will get free evaluation for that. Question is, how does France ban on girls wearing abayas in state schools reflect its model of secularism? You have to comment what does it feel like, and how does this compare and how is this compared to Indian model of secularism? So you have to compare that with the Indian model of secularism. Actually, in this entire lecture, this is what we have done. So it will be very easy for you to write this answer. Be quick, pick up your pens, write this answer down. Don't miss this opportunity and send us your answers so that you get freely evaluated answers as soon as you write. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to Platonic.